Hi all, welcome to TechFest Java. In this video we are going to discuss about a microservice architecture. In previous videos we have discussed about what is microservice, how we are using that microservice, and what is the why we need to create a microservice, and about what are the principles of a microservice we have, and apart from that we have been discussed what all the design patterns is being implemented for a microservice design and development. So today we are discussing about a microservice architecture. We will briefly describe each and every component which are necessary and which are being used as a part of microservice architecture. So let's just start. So as we have seen this diagram, if we are able to see here, you can see that these are the clients. Either client can be a desktop application, or a client can be a mobile application, or any other medium application. So for any application, suppose we have a e-commerce website, and for that we have created a microservice architecture. So e-commerce website we are able to access from a desktop, or as well as from mobile, as well as from tab or any other devices. So for that particular website there is only one entry point, one URL. By that we are able to access that particular website. So once we are calling that particular website using a URL, that basically there is an API gateway application exists. All the request from all the devices, whatever the devices we are using to access that microservice application, is firstly goes to the API gateway. All the requests coming to the API gateway first, and API gateway service then decided which service is going to be process the request and give a response to the client. So in the whole architecture there is an API gateway service which is basically the entry point for a client. So all the requests come to the API gateway, then API gateway will there is a one discovery service there. So on which basically on which microservice need to be called, it is get by the discovery service. Then there is a one service that is called orchestrator service. So either we are creating an orchestrator service, or it will be decided by the API gateway itself to orchestrate the request and get a response from the other services and then forward back to the client. So there is an orchestrator service. Suppose that service is written in Java language, and that service will then decided which services need to be used, either microservice 2 or microservice 3 according to the request. Or sometimes what happen, the API gateway itself able to call directly to the microservice 3. So it is totally API gateway decide which microservice need to be called according to the client request. So the in client request there is a header part in which the microservice name or microservice ID will be mentioned, and API gateway will decide get the URL from a discovery service. We will design and develop also a discovery service using Eureka discovery service. So here it will be decided in API gateway, it will be decided that which microservice need to be called on the basis of ID and request type. So that API gateway will pass that particular request to that microservice, and after getting a response it will then forward back to the client via API gateway. So as we have seen that in this microservice 1 directly not accessing the database. So for database accessing itself, we have to create a microservice also. So each microservice having their own separate database. Like for microservice 3, there is a their own database SQL, and microservice 2 there is your own database NoSQL. So here the microservices are independent from their language. I mean, my first microservice is created in Java, second is created in Python, and third is created in Go language. Second is that there is an API gateway design pattern is using over here. Each microservice working is different. Microservice 1 is basically doing the aggregator, using the aggregator design pattern. And if you say that microservice 2 response and microservice 3 response, somehow it will aggregating the responses and then forwarding to the API gateway. So that can also be possible in here in orchestrator service. And each service have their own container. As you can see that each service having their own container. So this would be defined by their Docker images, where all the services is being Dockerized. So when we are saying a microservice is Dockerized, then we are saying that it is basically containerized. So each service having their own containerized in a containerized way. So in this container, all the dependencies, all the server related configuration which is required for this microservice is under this container. Why we are using this containerized architecture for microservice? As we have seen that sometimes what happen in a monolithic architecture, when we are developing a service in a development environment, it is working fine. But whenever we are going to deploy those services into any other environment, right, in a QA environment, or in user acceptance testing environment, or in pre-prod or prod, so it will not work. But there is no change into a code. The problem is that related with the configuration, related with the dependencies, and related with the configuration file key values. So all these things which are defined into a developed environment are not same way for a QA environment, or not same for a pre-prod or prod environment. So due to that, this ambiguity produced that the things working into a dev environment but not working into a QA environment. So that problem also resolved by this containerized architecture, where microservice itself being containerized and independently working into their own container. So this is the basic architecture of microservices. Here there are a lot of other services are working, like a discovery service, discovery server, which are used to register the microservices. And we are using some circuit breaker design pattern for fault tolerance implementation. Then we are using some configuration servers also, so that each and every microservice configuration files will be present at that centralized location. So yeah, this is the basic architecture which we are going to be basic microservice architecture basically. So that's it into a microservice architecture. When we are do the coding part, we are implementing these services in Java, not for other languages. In using a using Spring Boot, we are going to be develop microservices. So yeah, There are also security layers, and also other things will work in API gateway thing at API gateway level also. So yeah, this is the basic microservice architecture. And in next videos we are starting the implementation of microservices, and we are one by one learning about what all features we are going to be developed into a microservice, and what all required services for proper microservice architecture implementations. So yeah, in next videos we are focusing on the implementation, and for that we are using Spring Boot, and in Spring Cloud we are using Spring Cloud, Eureka service, and Azure Proxy and other services for implementation. So if you like this video, please subscribe my channel and press the bell icon, so that next video notification you will get it once we are starting the implementation part. Thank you.